All right, what's happening, people? So, neck profile. This is, of course, not a scaled or really even that accurate drawing. They're just very exaggerated drawings. But this would be the fretboard down here, and this is something like what you'd find on an old Les Paul, and this would be something that you would find on an SG, right here with a much shallower depth, and then a steeper curve on it. What I got going on here, I did on a guitar a couple years ago, and I really love the feel of the neck. When you look at it, you really can't tell, but it's got this radius, kind of like an SG. It's kind of halfway between an SG and a Les Paul, but it's got a flat spot on it, and of course that flat spot has gotten eased with sanding. So here's a really crappy drawing of what it looks like rough. So the flat spot is only about a quarter inch wide here, and it goes up. It's actually like maybe 5/16. It starts off as 5/16, but as you ease that, it gets a little bit shallower. So about a quarter inch there, about 5/8 of an inch up there. So I started with 3/4 and 3/8, and I wound up with about 1/4 and about 5/8 up here. And it's just a flat spot that you can feel that the guitar is flat here, and then that flat spot tapers down all the way to the headstock to about a quarter inch wide here. I did put that Brian May volute on there, but I hated the way it felt. It looked cool, but it didn't feel right to me, so I went with a profile that I did before. I don't know if anybody makes this profile, but I'm sure I didn't invent it. But this is just to say that you don't have to go with a C or a D or a V neck. You can come up with whatever profile you like best, what feels the most comfortable. Like, however, go by how it feels, not how it looks, or not what you see on other videos that, oh, it has to be a C neck or it has to be a D neck. It can be whatever feels good to you, so long as you're not taking away too much meat. So this neck is actually a good bit thicker than an SG. It's about halfway between the SG and like a 59 Les Paul. So enough of that. Here's the detail that I keep talking about and I'm never able to explain accurately. This whole back panel right here overlaps the neck. So the neck goes all the way through, and the back panel sits on the neck. It's all glued together like one piece. So this back panel right here will get routed out somewhere around this pencil line here, maybe here, maybe here, uh, and then I'll go about 3/8 of an inch deep into this back panel, and then I'll put a quarter inch thick piece of walnut on there as a heel cap. So we're getting there, and now that it's together, maybe it makes a little more sense. So the guitar is sanded to about 80 grit. The headstock shape is finished. The I love this detail here because I offset the tuning machines. So I like this here where it's got two different angles on it so that the distance between the angle and the point right there is about the same on the top and bottom of the guitar. I did make it a little skinnier. I took about an eighth of an inch off of this hip, this curve right here, and about 3/16 off of this one here. So it made it feel more, it made it look more proportional, more accurate to the Rick Turner guitar that I saw online. Here's the front of it. I got the fretboard glued down, not radiused or anything yet. I got the main sewer line installed here. And this is, by the time I get done putting the veneer on here and sanding this, I'll sand like a 45-degree chamfer around this so that you can actually see some of the black edge here, because there's a black round plate that goes in here that holds the humbucker. So making some pretty good progress here. I got some veneer for it. I got something called Babinga, which is really cool. Love the veneer, but I don't think it's going to work with the colors because the back and the sides are going to stay maple. And with a walnut fretboard, really the only things that made sense to me were either walnut the front and have all the rest of the guitar maple, but I got walnut and walnut together. So even if I turn that at a 45 degree and a 45 degree that way, it might still be a little too much walnut, even if I change the direction of the grain, it might be a little too much walnut. So keeping with the maple, I got some bird's eye maple, and I'm leaning towards this one here. I think it's my favorite, and I will do the same thing with the angle this way and the angle that way, coming off of the center line here. And I know that when I lacquer this, it's going to darken up. I may even put a really, really light brown dye on it first. I'll experiment with some cut-offs of the veneer and see what I like, but some good progress here. Next update should be after I got it all sanded to about 220. Then I'll glue the veneer. Then I'll sand the sides and the back to about 320, maybe 400 before I dye that, and then start the clear coats. So looking pretty good. I'm loving it. Hope you guys are too. Talk to you soon.